I heard it at 2:47 a.m., a sound that didn't belong in my house. Crying, soft, distant, coming from the basement. The problem? I live alone, and I don't go into the basement, ever. Let me back up. My name is Jacob. I'm 29. I bought this house 6 months ago. Cheap, cash deal, no questions asked. The realtor seemed too eager to close. She kept saying things like great bones and needs character, but her eyes told a different story. She never mentioned the basement door, the one with 3 deadbolts on the outside. When I asked her about it during the walkthrough, she laughed it off, said the previous owner was paranoid and eccentric. Some guy named Roy died of a heart attack in the living room. I didn't think much of it until I heard the crying. At first, I thought it was pipes. Old houses make weird noises, right? But pipes don't sob. They don't gasp for air between cries. I stood at the top of the basement stairs, hand on the doorknob, heart hammering in my chest. The crying stopped. Complete silence. Then, a whisper. Please. I slammed the door shut, grabbed my phone, and called the cops. 2 officers showed up 20 minutes later. Officer Ward and a younger cop who barely looked old enough to shave. Ward had that look, like he'd seen it all and didn't believe a word I was saying. But when I told him the address, something flickered across his face, just for a second. Recognition. "You hear where it's coming from?" Ward asked, shining his flashlight down the basement stairs. "Down there," I said. "It sounded like someone in pain." The younger cop went down first. I heard his boots on the wooden steps, the creak of each plank echoing up. Ward didn't follow. He stayed at the top, jaw tight, staring down into the dark. "There's nothing down here, man," the younger cop called up. "Just old furniture and boxes." Ward shot me a look. "You been drinking tonight?" "No, I swear I heard—" "Look," Ward interrupted too quickly. "Old houses settle. Sounds carry weird. You'll get used to it." They left. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I started digging. I found an old neighborhood forum online. Someone had posted about my address 3 years ago. The post was deleted, but I found it cached. The title, "Does anyone know what happened at 47 Elmwood?" One reply from a user named Bonnie. "Roy kept someone down there. Everyone knew. No one did anything. Shame on all of us." My blood ran cold. I had to go down there. I grabbed a flashlight, a hammer, and my phone with 911 ready to dial. The basement smelled wrong. Damp, metallic, and something else. Something rotting. Old furniture lined the walls, chairs, a broken dresser, a mattress stained dark in the center. Then I saw it. A door, hidden behind a shelf unit, and it had a padlock on it. I moved the shelf. Dust exploded into the air, choking me. The door was steel, reinforced, the kind you'd see in a bunker. I raised the hammer and brought it down on the lock. Once, twice, 3 times. It gave. I pulled the door open. The smell hit me first, sharp, nauseating. Then I saw her. She was sitting in the corner, thin, pale, eyes wide and glassy. But she was alive. "Oh my God," I choked out. "Hold on, I'm calling—" "Don't," she whispered. Her voice was raw, broken. "What? No, I'm getting you help. He's still here." I froze. "Who? Roy? Roy's dead. He died 6 months ago." She shook her head slowly. Tears streamed down her face. "Not Roy," she said. "Then who?" She pointed behind me. I turned. Officer Ward stood at the bottom of the stairs. No uniform, just jeans and a jacket. "You couldn't leave it alone, could you?" he said quietly. My stomach dropped. You knew?" Ward stepped closer. "Roy was my brother.
He had his problems, sure, but he knew how to keep secrets. When he died, I thought it was over. I thought she'd just fade away down here. You're insane! I'm practical, he snapped. You think anyone cares about some runaway from 10 years ago? No family, no records, she doesn't exist. I looked back at LaToya. She was shaking, tears streaming. Ward pulled out a knife. Now I've got a choice to make, and so do you. I didn't think. I swung the hammer. It connected with his wrist. The knife clattered to the floor. Ward lunged at me, slamming me into the wall. Pain exploded in my ribs. But LaToya moved. She grabbed the knife, and she drove it into Ward's side. He gasped, stumbling back, eyes wide with shock. "LaToya!" he wheezed. She didn't speak, just watched him fall. The real cops came an hour later. LaToya was taken to the hospital, malnourished, dehydrated, but alive. They found records in Ward's house, photos, documents, a dozen other girls over 20 years. Roy wasn't the monster. He was the accomplice. And Ward, he was the architect. I still live in that house. People think I'm crazy, but I can't leave, because 3 nights ago, I heard it again, the crying. 2:47 a.m., same time, same place. I went down to the basement, stood in front of that steel door, and I remembered something LaToya said in the hospital. I asked her, "Why did you cry that first night? What made you call out?" She looked at me, confused. "I didn't," she said. "I stopped crying years ago. I stopped hoping anyone would come." "Then who?" "I heard it too," she whispered. "Every night, a woman crying, somewhere deeper." The police searched every inch of that basement. They found the hidden room. They found LaToya, but they never found the second door. And now, every night at 2:47 a.m., I stand at the top of those stairs, listening, wondering, who else is still down there?